or
Did you ever get your blood tested to see what you are?
Yeah, I didn't look at the results
DNA?
yet.
You didn't look at the results yet? You scared?
I don't know. Maybe I am a little bit.
Are you a little nervous about what you might be?
I don't want to be French. That's what I don't want to be, honestly.
I think you're French.
No, I'm not. Do I seem French?
A little bit. Yeah, I think you got 13% French.
I got it here, bro. Don't laugh about that, Jamie.
What? How come you don't want to be French, of all things? Like, what's wrong with that? Why would that bother you even a little bit? They made great wine, great painters,
Who couldn't make
food.
great wine?
They complain a lot.
Yeah.
Apparently they like to fuck.
Really?
Yeah, that's the word. That French people just like to fuck. And they think that the way we handle things is stupid.
Yeah,
like, they have affairs, like, openly, publicly.
Oh,
like
wow.
Like
I could be French a little
all
bit.
The politicians, of course they cheat. They're all fucking animals over there.
Wow.
They just and that Toxoplasma apparently was running rampant through France.
Really?
Yeah.
What is it?
Toxoplasma is that
Like a
thing
ooze?
that you get from cats get it, and they get it from rats. And it's a parasite that gets into human brains, and it affects humans, and it makes people a little bit more reckless.
Oh, like rabies kind of, but light?
No, not rabies. More like slightly drunk all the time. Yeah. And this Toxoplasma, apparently there was at one point in time 40%
Of the French had it?
of France was infected with Toxoplasma. Yeah, see if you find that's true.
Must have been a fuck fest, I bet.
Fuck fest, wild and loose.
Yeah, you got
Yeah.
TP? So
Well,
do I.
they think that there's a direct correlation between the high levels of infestation and the behavioral changes of the population.
Infestation of what, rats and stuff?
No, of this Toxoplasma.
Oh, Toxoplasma.
Apparently 50 million people in this country have it. You get it from cat shit. Or from if you live on a farm, like you step on a field and it gets in your skin, like maybe cats have been shitting all over the place,
Yeah.
or a dog will eat something that, some cat shit.
And what, you get shit in your
You'll be around
feet?
the dog. 2012 analysis from France, where an estimated 43% of the people carrying Toxoplasmosis gondii concluded that men with a latent infection tend to be more dogmatic, less confident, more jealous, less impulsive, and more orderly than uninfected men. Infected women seem warmer, more conscientious, more persistent, more insecure, and more sanctimonious. Whoa.
Dude, I'll get a six-pack for the ladies then, huh? That
How
sounds...
crazy is that? 43% of people carry it. Jesus Christ. That's a large number of human beings infected by something that changes behavior, or at least leads to trends that are different. And noticeable, more dogmatic, less confident. Less confident is interesting.
That gondii.
Yeah, Toxoplasmosis, gondii. Associations of having antibodies to the parasite with bipolar disease, suicidal behavior, even optimistic disposition, possibly related to the parasite's effect on dopamine. So it gets in your body, and then you just have it for life.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Is it sexually transmitted? It must be then, huh?
That's a good question. That's a very good question. I don't know.
If 43% of people have it, I can't imagine that half of the population has stepped on a fucking...
Well, I think that's a good question, dude.
something.
That's a good question. But I think there's a lot of feral cats around.
Yeah.
I think when
that's
there's-
true.
Yeah. I think when there's places like El Gato,
Yeah.
you got a lot of feral cats running around.
Ratatouille, they have that whole movie about that animal that was a chef.
Yep. And what it does to the rats is it makes them get hard-ons when they smell cat piss.
Is that really?
Yep. It rewires their sexual reward system.
So, wait.
Their testes enlarge when they smell cat piss.
No
They get
way.
hard. They get hard, son.
It gets
I had a
passed through
fucking
pregnancy,
neighbor like
too.
that, dude.
What,
This
Jamie?
guy
It
would
gets
always
passed
whisper.
through pregnancy.
Say that again? It gets
Passed through
passed through
pregnancy.
pregnancy to the child?
Yeah.
Oof. Oof, there you go. It's rough. 43% is a high number, man.
It's a lot of people. It's 43 out of 100 people.
Dude.
2 billion people on the planet.
2 billion people have it?
Yes, 43% of those tested in that study.
And that's all the people that get tested. Who the fuck? I've never been tested. You been tested? No. How many people have been tested? That's a rough estimate, man. They don't fucking know. I bet it's a lot higher. I bet there's a lot of people that have it.
Yeah, shit in the blood, dude. I probably got it.
We had Dr. Robert Sapolsky in the podcast. We did one with him. He's an expert in it, and he's got a bunch of lectures and speeches on it. And he said that when he was a resident, that he had heard about a guy who found out that a disproportionate number of motorcycle accidents were attributed to people that were on this Toxoplasma.
Really?
Yeah, that they got this infection, and it was causing them to do stupid shit on motorcycles and crash.
I would hate that, man. It's hard enough to ride a motorcycle and then have, like, you know, just to be being led astray by a rare disease in your brain?
I wonder if it varies, right? I wonder if the toxoplasma that they get in Paris has the same exact response as the one that they get in South
These are the
America.
variations.
No.
Just America.
There's a bunch of variations.
Yeah.
Oh, see, that's what I'm talking about. There's different ones.
Oh, Long Island has a lot of it,
Jesus
it says.
Christ, there's different ones? Fuck.
See, I bet what is this, though? This seemed like, what is it?
Well, it's parasites.
Okay,
The
so
thing
we have
about
parasites.
Parasites exist in so many animals. They hitch rides, and then that's their ecosystem. Our ecosystem is to be on planet Earth. Their ecosystem is to be in planet Theo Von, and they just get inside of you.
Have parasites ever changed, like, the course of history? Is that what happened with the plague, or is that a different thing?
No, the plague's a different thing, but they probably could change the course of history if they really changed that many people's behavior. If you think about Paris or France, they're talking about 43% of the people have this infection.
And the irony of parasites, how crazy is that?
That's crazy, bro. It's a parasite.
What if they have, could you imagine little French fucking...
Little berets.
Oui, I'm going to change your behavior.
Oh, you're going to...
Stupid American.
The craziest one, man, is this aquatic worm. It climbs inside a grasshopper's body. It grows in the grasshopper's body, and then it tells the grasshopper to commit suicide.
Oh, my God.
So it gets the grasshopper to jump into the water, and then once the grasshopper gets in the water, then it bursts out of its body.
Oh, it's like Pinocchio meets Alien. Have you seen the movie Alien with Sigourney Weaver?
Yes. Talking about the certain the percentage of
the
human
worms.
beings.
Half of Brazil has the brainworm that makes you basically psychotic.
Well, it doesn't make you psychotic.
It makes you risk-taking, crazy.
Yes, it affects your judgment. This is toxoplasmosis.
It programs you to want to have more cats, smell piss.
Yes. Well, it definitely does that to rats. It actually reprograms rats' brains, makes them sexually attracted.
And there's
to
a
smell
bunch of
cat piss.
parasites.
Yes, there's a bunch of them, and there's some that probably haven't even been identified.
And that's where the whole crazy cat lady thing comes from.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. It's one of the reasons why they tell women when they're pregnant to stay the fuck away from cat litter. Don't touch cat litter. Don't go
your
anywhere
baby
near
can get
cats.
it.
Yes, I mean, it can be actually fatal for babies. But what I'm
Goes
trying to
back to
get
Middle
at,
Ages when they said kill
Yes.
the damn cats.
well, I'm sure there's a lot of factors there, right?
See, old wives' tales were like, you get demon possessed by that cat, and really it's a damn brainworm.
Well, that's probably also why they
And
told
that's
you not to
science
eat
fiction.
pork.
That's a real brainworm programming you. Like you were saying earlier, it's true. I looked at it's true. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
That the top soccer teams have the highest level of brainworm infestation.
Well, there's a disproportionate amount of people that live in countries with a high toxoplasmosis infection with successful soccer teams. There was some study that was done on that where we had Dr.
Sure,
Robert
well, like
Sapolsky
women
on
that
the
have it are
podcast.
more sexually promiscuous.
Yes.
That they just it's recklessness.
Yes, and they think the men are more reckless, and that's why there's a disproportionate amount of motorcycle victims that test positive for toxoplasmosis. This is what Robert Sapolsky out of Stanford University was telling us.
Is there a way to remove
I don't think there is.
the brainworm? Yeah.
I don't think there is.
Well, you know, there's like snails that get a brainworm that programs to go to the top of a tree so birds eat it.
Yeah.
And then it's crapped out, and then the snails eat that, and then go, and it's a food cycle.
Yes, yes.
So don't tell me in classic evolution, and I don't also believe the interpretation by right wingers of the Bible. That's not what it says. I mean, obviously, evolution happens in big, quick jumps, but we know what's going on. But the idea that just there's worms and there's all these different, well, you're talking about the one that gets into a grasshopper.
The
Tell folks
aquatic
about
worm.
that.
The aquatic worm gets inside of a grasshopper's body and gets the grasshopper to commit suicide. Gets the grasshopper to jump into water and drown, and then it comes out of its body, and that's where it lives. It lives in the water, so it literally gets its host to commit
So
suicide.
how did that chain of events? How does that evolve? Where suddenly a worm gets in a grasshopper and does something a supercomputer couldn't do? It programs to drown itself.
Well, this is a matter of complex biology. I mean, so I think it's insanely complex, and it's something that scientists are studying on a daily basis.
We're
and
going to get
trying
to that
come
coming
with
up because
answers.
I don't want to just talk about me all day.
But are you aware of the histoplasmosis culture?
Histoplasmosis. I'm aware of toxoplasmosis.
Toxoplasmosis.
Yeah,
the
cat
fighter
parasite. Yeah.
Right, fighters going to Mexico to get it.
No,
You haven't heard?
I didn't know they go to get it. Really?
Yeah. Apparently, you can go to. There's been this a program where you can go down to Mexico and be exposed to toxoplasmosis, because they're finding people who carry the parasite are much more reckless
Yes.
and aggressive,
Yes.
and they have a higher pain threshold. And among boxers and fighters and wrestlers, everybody wants to have toxo.
Wow.
You did not know that?
No,
Oh my
Google
God.
that. I need to know that because I interviewed Sapolsky from Stanford, who's one of the premier experts in toxoplasmosis, and
Is he the Polish guy?
Yes.
Okay.
Sapolsky found that when he was doing his residency, they would find when people had motorcycle crashes, and one of the doctors told him check the victim for toxo, and it turns out there's a disproportionate amount of motorcycle victims of accidents that are positive for toxoplasmosis because this cat parasite makes them reckless. We should probably explain the parasite to people that don't know what we're talking about. Toxoplasmosis is a parasite that grows inside cats' digestive systems. And the way it does this, it's one of the most fascinating evolutionary processes. It tricks rats into being sexually attracted to cat urine. So literally, their testicles swell, their dicks get hard, and they become fearless. It rewires their sexual reward system to make them horny for cat piss. And so there's videos of like toxo-infected rats just like running up to cats, and the cats are like, "What the fuck?" And the cats are trying to get away from them. The cats are like, don't understand why this rat is running up against them. The rat is literally trying to get eaten. So this parasite rewires the brains of the rat, gets the rat to go near the cat, gets the cat to eat the rat, so that this parasite can grow inside of the cat's gut. And then they tell humans, you have to stay away, women in particular, when they're pregnant, stay away from cat litter. Because if you're near cat shit, you might get this toxoplasmosis, and it could severely impair the developmental process of the child when it's inside the womb. Yourself tested for toxoplasma.
Toxoplasmosis. I've actually had that before.
Well, you have it then.
Yeah.
And you have it for life.
Yeah, exactly. No, I went through the symptoms. I caught it from an undercooked piece of lamb, actually.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's one of the 4 ways you can get it, kind of thing.
No kidding.
Yeah, you can get it from from cats. You can get it from undercooked lamb. You can get it through a blood transfusion, and I think the other one is a mother can transfer it to to their baby. Well, like, yeah, believe me, I went to the whole CDC website and everything. Like, and that was like mono kind of thing. Like a lot of people catch it, but they just have the antibodies for it. Like they're like, and I was a little run down. I was doing a play in London for like 10 months, and also like kind of going out at night and things like that. So I think my body was kind of just like not at its strongest, and boom, it hit me like a ton of bricks. Like that was like mono kind of thing, and I was totally run down. I got better after about like 3 months or so, but I didn't get 100% better for about a year.
There was a crazy article just written about toxo that it had some sort of impact on people who start up businesses. That more entrepreneurs have toxoplasmosis. It radically affects behavior, apparently.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't know. I got it when I was like 20, so so
makes you more risk taking, more.
Makes you more.
Here? Yeah, parasite found in cat poop has been linked to higher likelihood of entrepreneurial behavior in people who get infected. Huh. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
It makes
I just launched my own website recently and like all that kind of stuff. So there you go. I blame the toxoplasmosis.
Have you read up on it a lot?
I mean.
Have you read any of Robert Sapolsky's stuff?
No, not in a while. Like, I mean, like I said, I caught this like in like 2000, 2001.
Robert Sapolsky's he's a professor at Stanford, and he's a biologist, and he specializes in toxoplasmosis and primate behavior and a lot of other different things. He is a biologist, right? Is that his discipline?
Yeah.
But anyway, he's got some amazing talks on it. You really should listen to it since you have it.
Yeah.
It's fascinating stuff. They found a disproportionate number of motorcycle victims, people with motorcycle crashes.
So risk taking. Like,
yes.
Yeah, that's what you were saying.
Yeah.
That's actually, that's fascinating.
Yeah. It you know how it works? It can only reproduce inside the cat's gut, and it rewires the sexual reward system of a rat. So it makes a rat horny when it smells cat piss.
Oh,
so it completely changes the cat's sexual reward system.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
The
like evolutionary advantage, of having for a cat to have it. Like,
evolutionary advantage. It actually tricks the cat into killing the rat and tricks the rat into being horny.
No, exactly,
around the cat.
to come around. No, exactly. That's what I mean. There's an evolutionary advantage to that because, like, if you're a cat and you have toxoplasmosis, like it's going to it's going to attract your prey to you.
Well, it actually doesn't. No, it doesn't work that way. The rat has to be infected. When the rat's infected, then it smells cat urine and it gets horny. When the cat's infected, it doesn't do anything to the cat.
Yeah.
It seems to have no change in the behavior of the cat, but then it gets to people.
Yeah.
So it only affects really the behavior of people and rats.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah. But yeah, no, well, I caught it. I got the antibodies for it or whatever. Yeah, it's one of those like forever kind of things. But it doesn't affect me like at all. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no health
would you know?
issue.
Oh, health issue.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, yeah, no, it's like, yeah, it's just, it's a, it was one of those things where, like, yeah, I got sick for a couple of months and then boom. But like I said, it was like mono.
I think
was
you
just
said there's
tired.
a disproportionate number of successful soccer teams that come from countries that have high rates of Toxoplasma infection.
I should get into soccer.
Well, it's just one of those things. It's just it changes the way people behave. Makes them a little wilder.
So you're saying you're interested in some toxoplasmosis?
I might already have it.
Yeah,
I should probably get checked.
gondii or whatever it is. Looking at you. Toxoplasma gondii.
So what was this
Got a
one
lot
here
more
about your parasites?
Oh, yeah.
So what's going on?
Well, there's still more testing, but they did find something called schistosomiasis in me. So schisto comes from these snails. And so because I have bathed in the rivers there, been in the rivers, going across
Did you get it in
rivers.
your mouth?
No, they can get into your skin. And I was real itchy for a couple weeks there. And what that was some of the like parasites, I guess. What'd you call it? They're like egg sacs or something that got on me.
Yeah.
Got inside of my stomach, my liver.
Oh, Jesus.
Could be potentially even in my brain.
In your brain?
Potentially. I kept getting jerked around by all these different doctors. It's this, it's this, it's this, it's this.
Right.
And I've had numerous endoscopies to go look in my stomach. And one says it is an ulcer. Another comes out and says your stomach's perfect inside. It's a little red, but like there's no ulcer whatsoever. And so I have schisto. I've had an intestinal bacteria that's really bad called Shigella. I've had malaria 3 times. I've had dengue fever. So dengue was in me for at least a month. The CDC found it in me.
But you've had this parasite in you for a long time now.
Yeah.
How many months?
At least 6, since April. So I was at the Police and Fire Training Center of Oklahoma City, and I was just helping them. There's some really great guys there. And I was helping them, and the fire chief ended up putting me in the cold shower for like 20 minutes because I got they said I got like ghostly white, and I started dry heaving, and I was just shaky all over.
This is all from your parasites.
Yeah.
Jesus
and
Christ,
so it's a up and
man.
down. I'll start feeling good, and then I just crash. I've had shingles 5 times, Joe.
What the fuck?
5 times. I was on 28 pills a day for 4 or 5 weeks in a row.
Just for this parasite?
Yeah. Well, a whole parasite cleanse because they think I could have a parasite that they haven't found, or that they haven't like.
Christ.
That's not because I'm going so remote, Joe, in the forest. They think I could have picked up something crazy. So they just did a Lyme's disease test on me. This was on Monday. So Lyme's disease. They did a cheek swab for like genetics. They did hair. So they cut off like 6 different spots of hair.
Your
from my
glowing
scalp.
locks.
Yeah. So they cut that. Blood, urine, stool samples. They did 2 different kinds of brain scans on me. So they literally injected something that was very minorly radioactive in me, so that it could light up all the different spots in my brain activity.
Do you know, does Oklahoma have that Rocky Mountain
I think so.
tick? No, not that. No,
Or the
I'm sorry,
Lone
Lone
Star?
Star tick,
Yes.
the one that gives you a
Lone
meat
Star one I've
allergy.
had.
Yeah, that's a crazy one. What is it called? Alpha galactose. It's something that it's the reaction that this tick bite gives you. It makes you allergic to this specific element in red meat.
Wow.
Yeah, you can only eat fish, and like if you try to eat meat, you'll get really sick.
Wow.
It's crazy.
That is crazy.
Have you had that one?
I've been bit by that one. I don't think I have a meat allergy though. I hope not. This is going to sound crazy, but I know I have to have a, this might be too much information, but I know I have to have a bowel movement whenever my nose starts running. So literally, whenever I have to go,
Your
my
nose starts running, and then you take
running and running and running.
How is that
And
connected?
I don't know. That's what they're looking into. They're like
Jesus
That's it's your second brain, and so I don't know. It's
What?
digestion.
What's
your
your
stomach is your second brain. They said.
Oh, that's
It's got
why they say
more
trust your
neurons.
gut.
Trust your gut.
Yeah.
It's got literally more neurons in your stomach than in your brain.
Really?
That's what the doctor was saying.
I know that's the case with your heart as well, right? There's a bunch of neurons in your heart that they're realizing now, like that whole idea of trusting your heart, trusting your gut. Like these thought processes that people had might have actually been based on some intuitive understanding of how the body actually works.
Wow.
It's really weird.
It is weird.
Really weird.
Strange. Everything's connected, right? The
That's-
doctors in Oklahoma are like, we have no explanation for that, and then the doctors out here were like, oh, that's because this is connected to this, right? Everything's connected.
More parasites that can actually harm you.
Yeah.
But a grizzly bear, I mean, you skinning them, and there's worms this long crawling out their ass, and they got a lot. And those worms can hurt you. They're they're bad. If they get into a person, they can cause serious problems because they don't stay in your intestines. They go into your brain in different weird places. If the eggs get into you and they hatch because they're an unfamiliar host, they don't know where to go.
Oh, Jesus.
They go into spinal cord. They go all over the place.
What do they do if that happens to you?
A lot of kids have had big problems. The same kind of, very similar kind of worm lives in raccoons. So kids playing on the playground, raccoon feces has the eggs in it.
Oh, wow.
It's Balis ascaris is the genus of worm. It's like a roundworm. Normally, it doesn't cause the bear too much problem. It just lives in their intestines. But if that larva, if you get an egg in you and the larva doesn't know where to go, he's in an unfamiliar host and they act differently, they'll migrate into weird places in your body, like nervous tissue. They get in your eyes and stuff.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Someone's got one in their eyes. Oh, Jesus. The parasite on the playground. Roundworm. Wow. Look at that, man. In the eyeball.
Yeah. And
what did they do?
Well, I've never got one in my eye, so
Fuck that. Look at that thing. Traveling around inside this person's eyeball. Fuck that, man.
There's a lot of parasites out there. That's the thing people don't realize is like humans used to have a lot of parasites in them.
Look how many people have them in their eyes. Look at all those pictures of the eyeballs.
Yeah, I killed this one bear one time, and those worms,
The one on the left, Jamie. Right to the left of your cursor, right there. Click on that.
It's 15 worms in that one.
Click on that. Oh, my God. Their eyeballs overcome with fucking worms.
Yeah, I've had to deal with those worms, but not in me.
15 centimeter. That's what it says.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's so long.
Yeah, they're long. They're long. They're about as big around as your pinky, or at least my
God.
pinky.
There's 14 worms in this woman's eye. And
Oh, my God. Look at her fucking eye.
It's disgusting.
Oh, my God. That's so insane. Oh, fuck parasites, man. So
There's so many parasites. It's creepy. Like, I've seen a lot of parasites, but most of them won't hurt a human.
Right.
Those are one that will. And the one that's in the grizzly bear is just a slightly different variation from that one that's in raccoons. It's Balis ascaris transfuga lives in the grizzlies up there. And yeah,
So
I've
are you
had
wearing
'em.
rubber gloves when you cut them
No.
open and everything?
Hell no.
No?
No, but I did build a big bonfire right there because it was right in my yard, and I just burned the ground because I got little kids up there, and they were crawling around that time playing and stuff, and I just built this huge bonfire because I want to make sure no eggs. The eggs are
Right.
very resilient. They can last for years and years in the environment. They can survive being frozen all winter.
Really?
Oh yeah, they're microscopic eggs. That's what you got to worry about, not the big worm. You got to worry about the eggs.
Fuck.
A lot of bear hunters don't know this. When you're handling a bear skin, those eggs are on the fur. Yeah. If you're playing around with a bear skin before it gets tan, and then you go like this or something, all of a sudden you got those eggs in you. Scary shit.
Dude. Fuck that. Oh. Oh, that's one of my number one fears. Something creepy crawly growing inside me, getting in my eyeballs and into my brain tissue.
The Joe Rogan Experience.